everything is your fault. It be the memes, bro. Just relating to the other bots, like this shit is cool and we all, oh yeah, we know that feeling. You laughing at all the jokes, hee hee, ha ha. That's your life. The fact that that shit is even funny should piss you the fuck off. You're currently down bad. Why the fuck is any of this fun? The imposter like to stop you from realizing you're a bot. Smoking weed, but you're not in the position you want to be, right? Because it stops you from thinking about this shit. Once I broke out of the bot loop and I started peeping game, the only reason I was really able to break out is because Peep Game. Look, it's your boy Brands Peep Game. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe for YouTube algorithm, and follow me on all platforms at Brands Peep Game. We on the road to 1,000 subs, man. Help me get up there. But Peep Game, I was thinking about it. I'm starting to realize that the game is really built to keep people in the bot loop. Not everybody's supposed to be a real player in the game. Some people are really just made to be bots. What's a bot? A bot is somebody who's running off of automatic code, right? A bot don't think about what they do. A bot fuck around, do whatever they feel like. A bot is living on autopilot, right? A real player in the game is one who becomes conscious that they're in the game. And they do that by leveling themselves up and start being aware of what they're doing and peeping game, right? An imposter keep a bot in the game because an imposter is a bot who refuses to believe they're a bot. They do everything that a bot do, but lie to themselves, right? But I'm starting to peep everything, all these mechanics in the game, right, is really designed to keep you in the loop because it's really full of distractions. And when I say distractions, I'm not talking about just the regular distractions like social media, scrolling, all that. Yeah, all these is distractions that keep people in the loop, but these is like the obvious distractions. But I'm starting to see that the distractions that the imposter hits you with that you don't even peep. It be the memes, bro. You ever see a meme where it's like, yo, like, it's some post-nut clarity meme or some shit like, yeah, like, when that post-nut clarity hit or this and that, used to be scrolling like, and it was just funny, right? Or when you down bad or broke or some shit, it's like, oh my God, send that to your man, right? It's so funny. The fact that that shit is even funny should piss you the fuck off. Because when you think about it, it's really helping you accept mediocrity. The fact, like, just relating to the other bots, like, this shit is cool and we all, oh yeah, we know that feeling. And you're not even looking back on the feeling, looking back like a little laugh, like, damn, I used to. No, you're currently down bad. You're currently still fucking that chick you shouldn't be fucking. You're currently still beating your dick and fucking knowing that you shouldn't beat your dick, but then you go laugh about it, posting like, oh my God, and you do it again tomorrow. Or them stupid ass careless memes like, oh, like when you want to lock in, but then your friend hits you, go out, like, oh, your friend want to drink and this and that. It's like, yo, why the fuck is any of this funny? You're really laughing at your life being a joke. And this is why I'm convinced that the imposter is the one behind this, because the imposter like to stop you from realizing you're a bot, right? The imposter do this by not just lying to yourself, but it low-key starts changing the standard without you realizing it. Because how can you feel bad about some shit? How can you get on yourself when all the other bots do it too? Well, you don't feel like an outcast because y'all all relate to this shit. This shit funny. And this is why a bot stay around other bots. A bot can't be around a real player because a real player is like, what type of timing this nigga on? But the bots can all mingle and relate, right? So this shit is really designed to keep you stuck in the loop. All y'all are in the loop staring this shit's so funny. Yeah, we just keep fucking off this and the imposter make you not feel bad about this shit because it stops you from thinking about this shit. And then you got all the bots. Like I said, y'all all in a loop. Y'all all mingling together. When I was a bot and we all mingling together being a bot, it's like you don't feel bad about it because all of us do it. You start hearing the other bots' excuses. Oh my God, life's so hard, bro. Man, this shit is bullshit. Blaming everything. Like, so it's like, even if you don't necessarily feel like that yourself, it's like you start accepting being a bot with the bots. So then you just gonna naturally start getting some of their thoughts. Even if you don't think it and feel like it all the time, you naturally getting their thoughts because you're setting yourself to their standard. You live the same as another bot, and that bot thinks that way. And this is why the imposter is so lethal, because the imposter stops you from blaming yourself. Peep game, the biggest superpower that I realized, once I broke out of the bot loop and I started peeping game, the only reason I was really able to break out is because you have to stop and blame yourself. That's the biggest superpower you could have, is blaming yourself, because everything is your fault. Peep game, even when you don't think it's your fault, make it your fault. Because why would you ever want to give something the power? Oh, that's the reason. You can't control that, but you can control what you do. Something might not be directly your fault, but what you do after is entirely your fault. Peep game. I had a friend back. We used to, like I said, I used to be playing the game all the time. So a lot of my principles came from my perspective on how I viewed the game. I used to play Call of Duty. I got another man that played with me. We used to be lagging, bros, raging, getting so mad, getting pissed off, making them do worse. And I remember I really used to just, cause I got that no give up attitude. So I'm like, man, felt like it's not my fault that the game is lagging, right? But the game is lagging. It's lagging regardless. So I started learning how to play through the lag. You can ask this nigga himself. I started learning how to play through the lag. So while he over here getting mad, complaining, breaking shit, because it's really not our fault that the game's lagging, here I am adapting to what's going on. And I blame myself because I'm not going to lie, I was raging too at first. But at the end of the day, my internet bad. What can I do? I'm still wanting to play. So I figured out how to play through the lag. So I got around it because I blame myself. I'm gonna just get better that I play through the lag. I'm gonna start pre-aiming here, even though it don't look like I'm shooting on them. I could tell every time I'm lagging, it's like this is where I started getting hit markers. I started peeping the game, right? And besides shit not being your fault, right? There's shit that is literally your fault, but you just not viewing it as your fault. Back in the day when I used to be a simp, oh my gosh, I get so tight at some of the shit I used to do as a simp back in the day. Back in my teenage years, bro, you know, I didn't really got no role model put me on game, especially with the biddies, right? So I used to be simping, bro. I used to be giving up his good night paragraphs and shit in the talking stage and all that shit. And you wondering why you getting no bitches, right? Now you might listen to that story and just be like, oh nah, like you crazy, bro. I never did that shit. But let's talk about the shit that you probably doing. Smoking weed, but you're not in the position you want to be, right? Blaming others, say, nah, I need this shit to relax and all that shit, causing more problems for yourself because you don't want to blame yourself. You don't want to put it on me. This shit is my fault. You just look for escape like a bot. So you're not gonna stop and think about what the real problem is. Because a lot of the problems you're causing for yourself. You might not control the cards that you're dealt, but you control how you play them. A bot will smoke weed all day, but complain that life is so hard and this shit not right, and wonder where all their money go. And then you got the bots that say, oh, but I'll get my weed for free. But the weed keeping you lazy and keeping it's stopping you from really thinking about what's going on. Then you scrolling on social media, you laughing at all the jokes, hee hee, ha ha. That's your life. So now you got all these things in the game distracting you from ever really sitting back and thinking and being self-aware. Damn, what the fuck am I doing? Damn, this shit is really my fault. Damn, these are the circumstances, but look what I did in them. You really have to stop and think about all this shit because that's the only way that you could really start peeping game. Once you become a real player in the game, you'll really start realizing that there's really no room for excuse. As a real player in the game, I can't think of one time that I've ever had an excuse because there really isn't one. As a real player, once you start peeping shit, it becomes a game. It's like problem solving. You look at what it is and okay, so what's the answer? What are we going to do about it? Because like I said, something might not directly be your fault, but are you going to accept that and just let it be an obstacle that stops you, or are you going to do something about it? And a lot of the time, the shit that stops you is literally only because you're not leveling yourself up. Because peep game, that might be an obstacle for your current self. But as you level up and you start getting around shit, you start finding other ways to get to the bag, right? I pulled up in this parking lot. All of a sudden, this is an empty parking lot, right? I see mad cars here. I'm like, what the fuck? This is closed store. Why mad people here? People over here running, doing something. I'm like, damn. I could have easily just said, fuck it, man. I'm about to find a new spot. I'm about to go. But I said, no, this is an opportunity to level up. I'm gonna park here anyways. I'm gonna get this vid done anyways. You see, when you put it on yourself, you start finding the answers to the problem and how to get around it. Like I said, I learned how to play through the lag. How I learned how to play through the lag? Lag, if anybody, all my gamers know how it is when you lagging and shit. The shit is ass, the shit is frustrating, the shit is annoying. But how I find a way to play around the lag, and even then, playing around the lag, it's not like it was just seamless, like, oh shit, I'm playing now, I'm just sitting on. There's still time I die because of the lag. But I didn't just blame the lag only, I still ended up doing good at the end of the game. Whereas my raging friend, he complaining he's doing bad, and he's just blaming the lag. Yeah, it's the lag's fault, but it's also on you. Because that's how you chose to get frustrated. Now you playing worse because of your emotions and all the factors that going into it too. You broke, you don't got no money, you smoking weed, spending money on the weed. If you're not spending money on the weed, sitting back, doing nothing, relaxing, chilling, because all the stress, not realizing you adding more stress to your life when you do shit like that. Because you're doing things that keep you in that position. You still scrolling, you looking, laughing at all these jokes, you still beating your dick, you're still doing all these things that keep you in the loop, right? And then you keep on going over and over and over in the bot loop and wonder, damn, why am I here? Damn, this not my fault. All because the imposter is stopping you from peeping what's going on. The only way to really break out of the bot loop is to really stop and be self-aware. Take your time and think about what's going on. Damn, what am I doing? Why? Stop blaming things, blame yourself, and you'll start realizing as you tell yourself what to do, you'll start breaking out of that automatic code. As you stop just letting things distract you without realizing it's distracting you, you'll start breaking out of that automatic code, and that's really the only way to break out of the bot loop. But peep game though, lock in. A real player's gonna lock in and level up. The imposters, I feel bad for you, I really do. And the bots, listen, y'all could break out of being in a bot loop. Just don't turn into the imposter. Put your mind to it. Peep game.